Hi, I'm Katy Jean with SaltWire, and I have just raised $1,500 to do the Easter Seals Drop Zone, along with my SaltWire colleague, Mikaela Gorman. With raising the money, Mickey has to now rappel down one of Halifax's highest buildings on Hollis Street on September 22nd. And because I raised the $1,500, I get to rappel down one of the highest buildings in Halifax. I'm very excited to it. Together, we've raised over $3,000. And today I'm speaking with President and CEO of Easter Seals NS, Joanne Bernard, about what does Easter Seals do? Who are they? And where will the money go? All right. Hi, Joanne.
Hi, Katy. Thanks for having me on, and thank you for taking the plunge, as we say. It's interesting. 1801 Hollis Street is actually the tallest office building in Atlantic Canada.
Oh.
So, east of Montreal, east of Quebec City. So I always used to say that because I did Drop Zone in 2014 and raised the money, and I wasn't working for Easter Seals then. And it was a bucket list thing. It was really, really fun. But you're right. A lot of folks don't know what Easter Seals does. They know when they hear the name, it makes them feel warm and fuzzy. But Easter Seals is basically 4 pillar programs. One, of course, is Camp Tignish, which houses people for a summer during 8-week sessions from ages 6 to 65. And it's a real recreational opportunity for them in an overnight camp, which has been in existence for about 85 years. Fully accessible, barrier-free, the only one in Nova Scotia for all those ages and all disabilities. And then the second program is New Leaf Enterprises, which is a social enterprise. So we run the Nova Scotia Rehab Cafe, as well as our own cafe at 22 Fielding Avenue. We have a commercial kitchen and an extraordinarily robust catering program. And we also run a day program where folks come to us every day and both do work. They're paid minimum wage to work in the center in the cafe or work on a business contract. And then we also provide to them recreational opportunities such as music therapy or dance, learn to dance, which is in their chairs, or meeting them where their ability is and their mobility challenges are. So we have a lot of fun with that. And New Leaf is actually one of the oldest social enterprises in Nova Scotia. Third program is Take Part, which is a lot of fun. It's all-inclusive sport, mostly for children, although we do bocce with Northwood for the seniors there. But we have Learn to Sledge, Learn to Wheel, which is wheelchair basketball. We have Learn to Ride, which is equine-assisted horse riding in the summer. We have Learn to Dance, and we just recently are launching Learn to Kick, which is power wheelchair soccer. And those are for kids generally between the ages of 6 and 18. And we have a lot of fun with those. We have those sports are in Sydney, we run, and also in our Yarmouth office. And then the last one is our wheelchair recycling program and assisted devices. So if you are on income assistance with the Department of Community Services and require a wheelchair, and you're under the age of 65, we are the vendor, not the vendor, but the liaison between the occupational therapist and the vendor. So all of those wheelchair orders come through us, and we assist with that. And then our own program, we accept gently used mobility and assistive aids from anywhere in Nova Scotia. We fix them if they need to be fixed. We sanitize them, and then we deliver them anywhere in Nova Scotia for free. And every OT in the province has access to our inventory through an Airtable, so they can just go on, see what their client may need, and then we provide it. So we have hundreds of pieces of equipment that are out in the community right now, always free of charge with no time limit.
Wow, that's incredible. You guys are busy.
We are. I often say there's many organizations that do a little bit of what we do, but there's no organization that does all 4 areas of what we do.
Yeah, like how many moving parts does that take? I can imagine it takes quite a few teams of people to make that work.
We have a staff of about 22. We have Red Seal chefs that of course work in the commercial kitchen. We have rec people that have a background in recreation for others. We have, health professionals in the summer. The camp counselors that we hire are generally from the health professions that are in university, because the hands-on experience is you can't get that anywhere when you're staying at a camp all summer. So it's always a lot of moving parts. We've expanded our footprint and our program capacity extraordinarily over the last 5 or 6 years. So it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's great. I know, like personally, my son's disabled, and having a system like Easter Seals is just incredible because, there's a lot of places that say they're inclusive, or they say, they can accept people with different disabilities. But when, it's great on paper, but when you actually go to access those services, there's a lot of stipulations, or, they have to actively hire someone to be able to, watch or help. Or, you get there and it's over capacity almost immediately. But I know with Easter Seals, like, there's so many opportunities, and it's something that when you walk into, you're not like, reading the fine print to see, can we actually do this? Like, you guys are really out there doing your best. And I think the best thing about that is I think a lot of people see Easter Seals as helping, disabled people or people with mobility issues, but you're really out there helping the world because accessibility is for everyone.
It is. And I mean, our value, the one that we live by every day, is we see a world where everyone is included. So we look at all different aspects of that. So for instance, you talk about hiring somebody to come participate in an inclusive sport. Not happening with us. We partner with the School of Health and Human Performance of Dalhousie, and it is mandatory for those students to volunteer with us during their year. So you have committed, extraordinarily passionate, and skilled young people volunteering one-on-one, if need be, with our kids, so that nobody's left behind. We have an extraordinary program called The Next Step, which provides youth and young people with professional and personal development to go out and work in the workforce at market wages. Because I know, because of my past, that a lot of kids were graduating to the coach. And so The Next Step provides that next level of one-on-one support. Then we provide a job coach. We work with employers, and it's been an extraordinarily successful program since 2019. Next month is our 3rd or 4th reverse job fair, where we have 60 folks come in from all different centers in HRM, and they meet with up to 25 employers. They have a table, they have their resumes, they have it's like a speed dating type of situation where employers can go from table to table and interview folks that live with some disability, whether it's cognitive, whether it's physical, but are wanting to work, able to work. And boy, oh boy, what a game changer for employers when they hire a person with disability, because it changes the culture of your workplace. And we have accessibility legislation in this province, and all of that is going to be front and center, particularly by 2030. So, inclusive employment is extraordinarily important.
Yeah. I know my child, he he needs one-on-one care. Well, not care. He needs a educational assistant one-on-one at school. And a lot of people personally, and I mean, this, I don't even know if I'll put this in, like a lot of people, they see school as kind of like a babysitter until, they can't be there anymore. And then what do you do? And it's just like, no, like people like my kid that, he's autistic. He has some learning delays. Like he loves to be around people. He's absolutely going to be useful in the workforce in some aspect. He might be fixing your computer. You might need someone with him to make sure he doesn't do anything else. But I think it's really important because, your work, your profession, your adult life is really a defining feature of your happiness. Being useful and being useful in society is just, that's what we're meant to do. That's why we have society is to be out in it. And I think it's just lovely that you're really putting in the effort to make sure, not only for them, but for the community, to have more involvement with, people that may just think or move or see a little bit differently than them.
Absolutely. In my previous work, I hadn't had a lot of experience working with persons with disabilities. My background was more in working with women harmfully involved with addictions or leaving domestic violence. So that was my work life for many, many years. So working with persons with disabilities when I was in politics became really an eye-opening experience for me. I wish I'd stayed longer to be able to continue what I wanted to do, but working in the community, in the nonprofit sector with Easter Seals has allowed me in some way to certainly continue that work. And it's so important, I see people that come into our center and, they'll go up to someone who may have mobility issues and crouch down to them. And then all of a sudden they're yelling, because everybody assumes persons with disabilities are hard of hearing. And that's not true. So it's we offer a lot of education around that. We really invite people in and, help them understand that just because we like them to see the person, not the chair or the disability. And so we've had a lot of success with that. Every Christmas, and this I think is our 5th year, we invite entrepreneurs with disabilities to come into our market, our Christmas market. And the reason I started that is because we used to go out to different markets to sell some social enterprise. The venues weren't accessible. Like if someone had to use the bathroom, somebody had to go up a stair. So I thought, well, the hell with this. We're just going to have it at this beautiful center that we moved into in 2018 so that entrepreneurs with disabilities won't have any barriers. But not only that, our customers won't have any barriers because there's lots of people that will come to us and say, you know what, this is the only market that she can go into right now because her chair fits through a door or there's a stair or a lift before they have to get into the front entrance. So people have to understand that making wherever you are accessible is really, really important, because if a person with a disability can't get into a workplace or a store or a business, their family's not coming with them. And that loss of revenue for that business or employment place is extraordinary. So if you don't recognize that as a business owner, if you don't recognize that as an employer, you're really missing out on a key part of what your potential could be.
Yeah, well, I know I became very aware of just how inaccessible a lot of areas are when, my son was little and we had a stroller. And I was, there's certain stores you want to go into, or even crossing the street. Sometimes, they don't have the proper cutout. And I was just like, how are people living if you don't have, even if you're, if you're walking around places, like I was even thinking like seniors, like I've had to like haul upstairs, and like I'm 33 and I've had some hard times getting up some stairs at some businesses. And I do understand there is some historic places that can be changed. Okay, I get it. But yeah, there's a lot of places that absolutely it's like, can you help anyone out? Because not only then can't strollers get in, but anybody using any mobility aid or mobility issues isn't getting in here.
Yes. And just, just in infrastructure and sidewalks and that, bicycles are more accessible than wheelchairs are in this city. Wouldn't it be great if we could just bring that level up so that persons with disabilities that make their way throughout our city and our transportation system had access to sidewalks and cutouts and areas that were always barrier free? It's extraordinarily frustrating for many people.
Which shouldn't be a big ask. Like you shouldn't be like, you shouldn't have to propose making a sidewalk accessible. Like, and you should like, if you live in Halifax, Dartmouth, wherever, you should be able to leave your house.
Yeah, exactly. And there's so many great advocates throughout our community that have made those points. And unfortunately, we've lost two great advocates in the last week, Steve Esty and Jen Pauley yesterday. So it just, it's a long slog. And I'm able-bodied, but I have had mobility issues in the past with 2 knee replacements. And so I got a small taste of what it's like for persons who have mobility issues. And it wasn't fun, and it was inconvenient for me, but eventually my mobility came back. That doesn't happen for a lot of people. So it just doesn't make sense to me that people can't get to where they need to go.
It just, that's mind boggling. I mean, I know like as a society, we're getting better at inclusivity. I would say like in the past 30 years, there's been a progression. I'm not saying it's great, but I can see progress happening. But the bar none of like, I should be able to go to the bus stop and get on a bus.
Yeah.
But I'm so happy that that you guys are here, and I'm very happy for Friday when we go to Hollis Street.
Are you looking forward to it, Katy?
Oh, I am. See, well, okay. In April for Special Olympics, I threw myself into the harbor.
That's probably more dangerous than what you're going to be doing on Friday.
I would rappel down every building in Halifax before I would throw myself in the harbor again. Now it was a little bit harder to make money with that because people know I like heights and I like that kind of thing. I don't like water. I don't like the harbor. However, my friend Mikaela that I'm going to be rappelling with, that's her harbor. And I'm so excited to go down at the same time as her and just scream how high up she is. This is just
God, love her.
The rappelling secondary. I raised $1,500 to be able to look her in the eye and see fear.
Mikaela's going to do great. I was afraid. I'm not a height person. When I was at the top of that building, I looked over to my right or my left, and I saw the top of Citadel Hill. So in my mind, I said to myself, this is nothing. I've been to the top of Citadel Hill. I'm okay. But of course, it's on a slant and the whole bit. Back in 2014, the way you went over is a lot different than the way you go over now. Now is much easier. It's not as breathtaking. So that took a while, but I made it down in like 6 minutes and didn't have any problems. And Tacton is extraordinary. Like they're up on that roof, they're talking to you, they're going through every little bit. The most dangerous part of your Friday morning will be your drive there. Really, it really is. And I mean, Tacton is extraordinary. And the other reason I did it in 2014 is because I knew my son had worked for them before in high level welding. And I thought, if I trust this company with my son's life, then I certainly can trust it with mine. And we had a great time.
It's funny, when I went to the training, the person said it's going to lock on you a lot because since I'm a smaller human, the mechanism thinks I'm gone, so it keeps locking because I don't have enough weight on it. So it's going to take me a bit to get down. He's just like, it's going to take you about double the time. I was like, whatever, I'll just keep up with Mickey. She's probably going to be going just as slow, or she's going to book it down. I have no idea.
Yeah, she may book it down. I mean, you watch these Tacton guys go down, they do it in under 30 seconds. You know, it's really something to see. And most of my staff, like all the staff that work in fundraising within Easter Seals, all of them have done it, because you can't sell something and get people to do something unless you've done it yourself. And I mean, certainly in 2014, I never thought I'd be in the position I'm in now. So I just really liked the organization in 2014. And so I thought, you know what, the hell with it. I'm going to do this. It's a bucket list thing. I'm going to raise the money, and I know it's going to extraordinary programs. So, you know, I had a lot of fun doing that. And I felt proud of myself at the bottom.
Yeah, I mean, it was a win-win-win for me. There's nothing bad in this. I raised $1,500 for Easter Seals. I get to rappel down, and I get to look at Mickey. I'm like, Friday it's also my mother's birthday on Friday, so it's gonna be a good day. I'm looking forward to it.
What time are you going down? Do you know?
I'm supposed to be going down around 4:00.
Excellent.
Yeah, one of the last.
Oh, I'll make sure that I'm there, you know, and we thank everyone for being so flexible with the time. We just didn't think it was in the best interest of anyone, particularly their reputation, to have people going down 1801 in a windstorm. So we, you know, that's why we moved it up. But it'll be a lot of fun. A lot of, you know, Friday, all the office workers will stop and they'll look. We have music going the whole time. We have food. It'll be a lot of fun.
I look forward to it. Well, thank you so much for speaking with me, and thank you so much for everything that you do and everyone around you does, and everything you stand for and everything you're trying to do. I look forward to Friday. I look forward to meeting everyone else. I know I did my training with somebody that has used your program, so I look forward to seeing him again. But yes, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Talk to you later.
See you soon.